Mamma mia, it's another spicy video. Just kidding, it's not actually, it's just another episode of Skyrim AE. Just kidding, for any one of you that just clicked on a video and then clicked off as soon as you heard that, I'm not gonna blame you. Anyways, the real fans, welcome back to Skyrim AE, Adventures of the Dwarven Empress. For all of you who are not familiar with the series or my previous series, go binge watch it if you really want to, although the previous one might make you have a stroke because of all the random stuff that happens. This one's a bit more put together. Speaking of, today in this video, I'm going to continue the Mage's College of Winterhold. I only managed to get as far as Sarthaal because I did get a little sidetracked doing something else, and at the time of recording, I, kind of messed up, and I'm not going to go into the full detail, but, I couldn't record too much of the Mage's quest. I would have recorded maybe a bit more, but, that would have made this video way too long, and statistics show that people like shorter videos, which is much better. Much better to have shorter videos. Anyways, as you can see, I ran into a troll there. Nothing too big. I did bump up the difficulty to master because my character was a bit too overpowered. I wasn't taking too much damage and I was doing too much damage, so, I figured what not. Had a couple wolves try and follow me, but then they stopped at the icy cliff, and in all those movies you'll see them, they'll chase the protagonists to their location and they're stuck in there, but I could have easily smashed their heads in with my mallet or whatever, but who's to really care? Who really cares, for one? And for two, I don't care. I really don't care. Anyways, continuing on, went into this place with Tolfdir, who just had two other people that just popped out of thin air, which I did not see outside of the building, but they're just there now. Something funny did happen though. I was walking right here and then suddenly a lady just popped into existence and fell down on the ground and then disappeared. Couldn't find her, but I did find some iron ore. That juicy, delicious, sweet, succulent iron ore. I really love iron ore. It's very helpful. Which by the time you guys next see my character, I'm gonna hopefully have re-enchanted gear, and probably max smithing. No, I will if I have full enchanted gear, because, why not? But anyways, as you can see here, I was told to help this guy, right? Well, the thing is, I also noticed I could give him the cogs, and I was like, wait, what? I didn't talk to this guy before, so I was really confused as to why I had this dialogue. And I chalked it up to, it's just a Bethesda thing, They probably didn't code the quest right to where you had to talk to the guy first to get the quest. As soon as you got the 10 cogs and then talk to him, you'd probably be like, here's the 10 cogs, skip the quest of skip the part of talking to him, and then go on to get the next part of it, which is getting the warped soul gem from Erendir, or Erendir, whatever that guy's name is. Oh well, whatever. I continued on and talked to Tolfdir. Or not talk to Tolfdir. I went into the next room, put on this random amulet, which I find kind of weird. Now, you're putting on and things around you close, even though they're mechanisms, not, fucking, not magical wards or whatever. I also completely forgot to put on the, necklace, which at this point in time, I was like, oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, this necklace is probably good, because 3% magic reduced cost, it's not even worth it at that point, because literally at the point of having it doesn't do anything. So I just, I kept it on for now, but later on I'd switch it out for the magic gold ear amulet. Now, I did eat a few ingredients, because I got into the apothecary satchel and started having this weird hallucination of this guy in these yellow robes telling me that what I have not seen is not what I've seen, and what is to come is still to come, and so I have to go and come to something else, and then I have to watch out for something, because I could be making good or bad / good decision. So, you know, it's not known for sure, but they do know for sure what I've done. And so basically they just wanted me to know to not to know what to do and what not to do, but what to do while not doing what I'm not supposed to do while I'm doing something. So then I got jumped by a bunch of old dudes, so I could have swore this was just a Saturday night for the Dwarven Empress. It seems like she's always on either high or getting attacked by someone, but, you know, not gonna say if that's a for sure thing or not. Anyways, after getting rid of these guys pretty easily, pretty stealthily, I must say, I ended up going on to the next area. You know, wasn't anything too radical, though. Wasn't anything too radical. Just killed some guys, which I did loot them, and one of them had some pretty decent stuff on it, but, you know, I'm not gonna say what. Well, actually, I can say he just had a petty soldierman and stuff, and I was finding some decent things for the characters, like, you know, leveling thing, being able to find some pretty cool, snazzy things. Yeah, but I walked into this next room and easily killed everyone. Like, everyone died instantly, almost, it seemed like, as you can see right here. I just, you know, man, too easy. Tolfdir wasn't any help, though. He just stood there and was like, whoa, you did a pretty good job. Now I'm gonna stand back and look at this place. Like, what's so special about that place? It's not even like there's anything interesting that popped up, which makes me think that there was supposed to be something interesting, but there wasn't, because of, you know, Bethesda cutting out a lot of content from the game. So, you know, can't say for sure. Can't say for sure if there was supposed to be something or if there wasn't, but I don't know what Tolfdir saw in that room. He's like, oh, this is so cool. It's a Nordic burial chamber. You know, duh, there's a bunch of those. There is a bunch of those. Yep, you were right. The Midden's a lot more expanded and interesting than this place. Oh, well, except for the Eye of Magnus, which, more on that later. Had a few ideas of how cool that could be for a mage-type character. Fucking... although the Dwarven, no, not Dwarven, the Draugr Deathlord actually did take a bit longer than usual to kill. Although it's kind of weird because it didn't have its normal axe out, like its, you know, Nordic axe. It was holding thin air, but I think what happened is it had an elven bow, which I've never seen happen before, but it was specifically an elven bow. Like, I've maybe seen an orcish one, if I recall, and, you know, definitely ebony, but never have I seen dwarven, or not dwarven, but elven. And it made me think maybe it's because something to do with the AI of the new white enemies, which they're literally spelled W-I-G-H-T. They're from the Cogs quest that, you know, you can go through the Oblivion Gate and everything, which that's the true nostalgic one, which if you were to watch any episode of my other Skyrim AE playthrough with Zemnis, just, you know, go watch the nostalgia episode, true nostalgia episode. It was really nostalgic and I loved it. But those enemies, the whites, they have elven equipment and they basically fight exactly like a Draugr, like their AI. But anyways, as you can see, I breezed past the other enemies. No big deal, you know, nothing too big. Although here, pay close attention because I solved this puzzle very easily. Like, literally, I solved it almost right away. So I think I clicked the one on the right first, you know, one if you're looking this way, and then I clicked the one on the left, and then I went over here and messed with those ones. I don't know, you could probably go back and rewatch the footage, but man, I got really, really close to, you know, right there. I got really close. Or not really close, but I got it right there on the money, and usually I'm standing there for like 3 minutes just messing with it. So there's that. But anyways, came into this room, and you know, this guy was no big deal because of the fact that literally, for one, I have magic like absorption, you know, from the, you know, just from my skills and stuff. But I was thinking I could use the apprentice stone, which gives you like 100 extra magicka for this character. and then use, the Atronach stone maybe. Also, leave down in the comments, guys, do you think I should add mods for this character or not? Because, easily I could create another character that's way more relaxed and laid back, that's not build focused. I could add so much to this character, so much more to this character with certain mods and stuff. Of course, I'd have to test out to see if my game can even hold more mods on top of all the mods that I have. But what I think would be super epic is if I could have some mods that would be magic focused with more magic stuff and better high elf buffs and resistances, and having high elf just classes, or not classes but races, improved better anyways and whatnot. And just I could really use some input. So if you guys have made it this far in the video, go ahead and subscribe and comment if I should add mods for future videos, and then just say screw it to the achievements and just say, oh, whatever, I'll do another character later, which could be a Nord Viking character that, uses light armor and two-handed weapons and doesn't do anything else besides that, and is pretty basic, would just go through the game and play whatnot. Although I will have a evil character or darker character that'd probably be a Khajiit that would do more of the Daedric quests and stuff like that, just so I can get those achievements. But I'm not too worried about, or they're trophies on PlayStation, which is weird. I still call them achievements regardless. But anyways, just leave down in the comments if I should add some mods. I wouldn't go too crazy with mods. I'd just have some visual overhaul mods, some bug fixing mods, some mods that add better combat, better enemies that are more balanced. And then I would add, there's this high elf one that gives the high elves better buffs and are more balanced and are better for actual mages. And then other mods that basically add better combat in the game in general, along with better loot and all that stuff. Which, speaking of better loot, that Eye of Magnus, as you can see, I went all the way through that. I did that, talked to the Archmage, and then I went to talk to Arenthir. He went to go give me the Warp Soul Gem. Now, about this part, found this random note, and I was like, oh, Shelly, man, gotta pick up this note in the honor of Shelly, because this guy was waiting for her for some reason, and I'm willing to bet it was the boat that was right down the road, all the way over there, over to the right, so, could imagine that's what it was. Anyways, the the Eye of Magnus. Dang, that's something else I wanted to mention. Now, the Eye of Magnus, I feel was a missed opportunity for Skyrim, because you could have been the Archmage, and after tuning in with the Eye of Magnus, being able to control it and stuff, you could, while in the vicinity of the Winterhold College, literally inside of the Winterhold of College, there could have been a passive effect that would make you specifically have infinite magicka to be able to cast any spells that you want to test out, so you don't have to waste any time. And then you could also, they could have added in some test dummy things that would be more powerful and that you could tell how much damage it would do, just so you can test out your abilities. But then if you were further away, you could also get a power that you could use. Of course, Bethesda would say once a day, but I would like it to be every few hours. It would give you a 500 bonus to your magicka, or 300 or something like that, so that way you wouldn't necessarily have to go to the lengths of enchanting your character and sinking all of your points into magicka to cast really high level spells like those master spells that they just so happen to have. And it's just I kind of wish that they would have added that, because when I was thinking about it while I was playing the game, because right now I was kind of thinking about it while I was I rant about random things to myself or whatever, I was talking and I was like, what, that would have been a really decent idea. A build could have, this character, literally this character could have used it, so that way I could put more of my points into just health and stamina, and then some into magicka. But hell, you don't even have to do that, and you could just have 600 magicka right away. But the way to make it balanced would be you'd get the 500 extra points, but your magic regeneration would stop. So you would have those points, and you would have to leave it up to your character's enchanting skill to enchant your magic regeneration. Or you would use potions or something. There'd be different combinations. But that way, it's like you get a big bulk of magic to just sit there and spam spells, and then you could use a high elf power to have your regeneration come back. And then, during that combat period, you could use the high elf highborn power over and over and over while you're fighting, because I also feel like the highborn power should be something you could use every few hours. And then within combinations, you could sit there and just spam high level destruction spells. It's just like, I feel like Bethesda had a missed opportunity with that, because then the Sijic monks, they come out of nowhere and it's like, well, we'll take this from you. Yep, the world's not ready for it, although you are. You've proven that you're ready, but you're not at the same time. So you're the archmage of the College of Winterhold, so you can now be more political, but at the same time, we don't trust you with anything really, because you could easily turn out evil, even though you're the Dragonborn, and we know this because we're the Sijic monks. But we won't say that out loud because for story purposes, and Bethesda didn't code us to mention that you're Dragonborn, that you could use this thing. But whatever, never mind. Like, I get for the point of it, because, it's a very powerful relic, and even saying that giving 500 points to Magicka while you're away from it and slowing down your regeneration would even be an underpowered statement at best for that Eye of Magnus. But, at the same time, it's just like, I mean, even if they wanted to, they could have made it the most overpowered mage central idea, like giving you massive regeneration, massive amounts of magicka, and massive amounts of magicka absorption, on top of having all of your spells cost like significantly less. Like, that would have been something that I could also imagine would be on the other side of the spectrum, that's not balanced at all, and is literally super, good for magicka absorption, of course, or whatever it is with magicka. But I'm not going to go too much into that, because I could rant about that forever. But so yeah, just go ahead and leave a comment down below if you want me to have mods. Like I said, it won't be too crazy of mods. It'll just be some things to make the game look better, sound better, hopefully, and just basically be a lot better in general. Add a bit more variety to this character with, better gameplay, so that way, it looks better, and I'm not spending so much time trying to make the character, be stuck in this awkward place. Like, you don't know how it is, but if you're actually in the middle of making this character and building this character, and you don't have mods, you'll see what I mean when it comes to, this. It's just, yeah, it's kind of awkward when you're trying to play as this character and at an early game stage, and I just feel like mods would do this character so much more justice. But anyways, as you can see, I made it out of the place. I actually got that runic set of armor that was for necromancers, but turns out you can't actually, they're not enchanted, so they're unenchanted, but the enchanted versions are apparently so much better for conjurers, so that just gives me a better idea for the future build of like an evil character, whatnot. But more on that probably way later. Just right now, the idea's in the works, but, came to Ariel Gane. Couldn't continue the quest anymore, so I have to wait till I finish it. So hopefully in the next episode, I will be able to finish it. Hopefully I'll be able to continue more of the Mages College, which I might go record some of that today. But anyways, if you made it this far, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment if you, about the mods. And, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you stick around next time. Oh, and also make sure you turn on that bell icon so you can know when I upload. But, yeah. Make sure to stick around and come back for another episode, maybe. Alright, so have a good rest of your day or night, and goodbye.